Hello everyone, it's me Bristikolita. Welcome to the class. Here we will learn about traditional Assamese clothing and accessories. This class will immerse you in the fascinating world of Assamese traditional clothing from the elegant Mekhela Sador to unique ornaments. We will also learn essential Assamese vocabulary and verbs related to clothing. So, today let's dive into what makes Assamese attire and jewelry unique and beautiful. Lota, Aita, Sador-Mekhela ki? Lota, grandmother, what is Sador-Mekhela? In this sentence, Aita means grandmother. It is an address term, and the term Sador-Mekhela refers specifically to the traditional Assamese female dress, which consists of two main pieces. One is Sador, the upper wrap, and the other is Mekhela, the bottom wrap. And ki is an interrogative pronoun which means what. Usually it occurs at the end of a sentence. Aita, Sador-Mekhela Assamia Mohilar ebiit Paramparagoto Haspar. Grandmother, Sador-Mekhela is a traditional Assamese dress. In this sentence again, we find Sador-Mekhela, which is already discussed. Then next, we have Assamia, which is the native term for Assamese. Next, we have Mohilar, which means of woman. Then we have ebiit, which is a quantifier with the meaning a kind of. At last, we have Paramparagoto Haspar, which means traditional attire. Lota, ebiit kapur kenekoi pindhe? Lota, how is this kind of cloth worn? In this sentence, first we have ebiit, which means this kind of or this type of. Then we have kapur, which means cloth. Kenekoi means how. This is an interrogative adverb asking about the method or manner. The word pindhe is a verb in Assamese that means wear. It comes from the root verb pind, which means to wear. When we say pindhe, we are referring to a third person who is wearing something right at the present time. The suffix a indicates that the action is happening in the present time. So, when pindhe is used in a sentence, it indicates that someone is wearing something at this moment. It also indicates a habitual action. For example, in the sentence, ebiit kapur kenekoi pindhe, it asks, how does one wear this kind of cloth? Here, pindhe refers to the action of wearing by an unspecified person. Aita, Mekhela Sadoror duta অংশ থাকে. কঁকালৰ তলৰ অংশটোত মেখেলা পিন্ধে. Grandmother, there are two parts. The mekhela is worn in the bottom part from waist to feet. In this sentence, again we have found Mekhela Sador. Then we have duta, which means two. It is the combination of the numeral dui, that means two, and ta, which is a numeral classifier for unspecified objects like অংশ. Then we have অংশ, which means part, portion or section. Next we have থাকে. This is a verb derived from its root থাক, which means to be, to stay or to exist. থাকে is in present tense form and it co-occurs with the third person singular or plural subject. Here, it indicates the existence of something. Then, come to the next part of the sentence. Here we have kokalor, which is the combination of the word kokal, which means waist, and the genitive or possessive case marker ro. Thus, the word kokalor means of the waist. Then we have tolor, which means of the lower part. It is a genitive form of tol, which means bottom or lower part. Then we have onghotut. Ongho means part, tu is the definiteness marker, and to is the locative case marker. Altogether, onghotut means in the part. Lota aru uporar onghotu, lota and the upper part. In this sentence, aru means and or also. It is a coordinating conjunction used to add or combine more than one information. Next, we have uporor. That means upper or above. The root word is upper and the ro is a genitive case suffix which means of the upper. Next, we have onghoto, which means the part or that specific part. Ongho means part and to is a definiteness marker. So, onghoto means the part. Aita uporar onghoto sador buli koy. Ei onghoto blouser hoite pindhe. Grandmother, the top part is called sador, which is draped around the blouse. We have already discussed the meanings of the first three words, uporor, onghoto, and sador. The following phrase, buli koy, is a causative word which means it is said. The next part of this sentence we have a, which means this, specifies a particular item. Blouse is a garment worn by women. Next, we have hoite, meaning with. It indicates accompaniment. After that, we have pindhe, which means is worn. It derives from the root verb pind. Pindhe is the third person present tense form, which means wears or is worn. Lota, ei kapurbur kone tayar kore? Lota, who makes these clothes? In this sentence, ei kapurbur means these clothes. Ei is a demonstrative pronoun. Bor is a plural marker. Next, we have kone is an interrogative pronoun. Lastly, we have toyar kore, which means makes. Aita গাঁৱৰ শিপিনীয়ে নিজ হাতেৰে বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ চাদৰ মেখেলা তৈয়াৰ কৰে. Grandmother, the village weaver makes various kinds of Sador-Mekhela by her or his own hands. In this sentence, first we have the phrase গাঁৱৰ শিপিনীয়ে, which means the village weaver. গাঁও means village and ro is the genitive case suffix. Hipini means weaver. Here, ye is the ergative case marker. Next, we have niz hatere, which means by one's own hands. Niz means own and hatere means with hands. It is the combination of hat, hand and re. Re is the instrumental case marker that is equivalent to the English preposition with or by means of. Next, we have বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ চাদৰ মেখেলা, which altogether means various kinds of চাদৰ মেখেলা. And finally, we have the verb phrase তৈয়াৰ কৰে. It means makes or prepares. লতা এয়া কিহেৰে তৈয়াৰ কৰে? Lata, how is this prepared? In this sentence, we have eya, which means this. Then we have kihere. This interrogative word means with what or by means of what. This word is the combination of the question word ki, means what, with the instrumental case marker here, which is equivalent to the English prepositions with or by means of. Then we have toyar kare. The compound verb toyar kare consists of the adjective toyar, which means ready, combined with the verb kare. That means does or makes. Aita মেখেলা চাদৰ সাধাৰণতে কপাহী সূতা, এৰী সূতা, পাট আৰু মুগা সূতাৰে সাজি উলিওৱা হয়। Grandmother, মেখেলা চাদৰ is usually made of cotton thread, castor silk, pat silk, and muga silk. In this sentence, first we have মেখেলা চাদৰ. Then we have সাধাৰণতে. The adverb সাধাৰণতে means generally or usually. In a list of raw materials, kapahi huta, eri huta, pat, or muga huta, the phrase kapahi huta means cotton thread. Eri means eri silk thread, pat means silk thread, and muga huta means muga silk thread. The conjunction aro connects the final item while the instrumental case marker re is attached only to the last noun phrase muga hutare, governs the entire coordinated phrase. Next, we have the verb phrase haji uliwa hoy. That means decorated and produced. The compound verb phrase haji uliwa hoy consists of two main components. The conjunctive participle e with has, which means to decorate, and the causative construction uliwa hoy, that means brought out or produced. Lota, মেখেলা চাদৰৰ বিশেষত্ব কি? Lota, why is it special? In this sentence, the noun বিশেষত্ব means speciality. This abstract noun is derived from the adjective বিশেষ, that means special, with the suffix ta, which forms abstract nouns indicating qualities or stage, similar to English suffixes nes or t. The interrogative pronoun ki means what? In Assamese interrogative sentences, question words usually appear in sentence final position. Aita, মেখেলা চাদৰে আমাৰ সংস্কৃতি আৰু আমাৰ পৰিচয় বহন কৰে. Grandmother, মেখেলা চাদৰ carries our culture and identity. In this sentence, the first object আমাৰ সংস্কৃতি means our culture, consists of the possessive pronoun আমাৰ, which means our, followed by the noun সংস্কৃতি, that means culture. After the conjunction aro is the noun phrase amar porichoy, which means our identity, where the word porichoy means identity. Then the next compound verb bohon kore consists of the noun bohon, that means the act of carrying or bearing combined with the light verb kor, which means to do. Together, they form a compound verb to mean carries or bears. Now, let us talk about men's traditional attire. Men often wear dhoti as their traditional attire. It is a long, unstitched piece of cloth, usually white or off-white, that's wrapped around the waist and the legs. Again, the gamusa is truly the pride of Assam. It is white cotton hand-woven cloth with red borders. Assamese men drape it around the neck over the shoulder. or sometimes tie it around their heads. Here's another conversation about Assamese men's traditional dress. Anil, Namaskar Bikash. অসমীয়া পুৰুষৰ পৰম্পৰাগত সাজপাৰ সম্পৰ্কে মোক জনাবানে? Anil, hello Bikash. Can you tell me about Assamese men's traditional attire? Let us analyze this sentence word by word. Here, Assamia means Assamese that refers to the people, their language, and the culture of Assam as a whole. Then, the word Puruhor means of men. It is a word form of Puruh with the genitive case marker Ra. Then, we have Paramparagata, which means traditional. Then, the word Haspar, that means attire, clothing, or dress. Again, we have Hamborke, which means about. Mug means to me. It is the object form of the first personal pronoun moi. That means I. The final word is janabane, which means will you inform or tell. The sentence is a polite question asking someone to explain or inform about the traditional attire worn by Assamese men. Bikash Nishoy Anil. Bikash replies, of course Anil. In this sentence, Nishoy means definitely, surely or certainly. And Anil is a proper noun referring to a male person. Because অসমীয়া পুৰুষে সাধাৰণতে ধুতি আৰু কুৰ্তা পিন্ধে. Bikash replies, Assamese people generally wear dhoti and kurta. Now, let me explain this sentence word by word. Here, first we have Assamia. Then, the second word Puruh means man, which takes the ergative case marker A to show its agreement with the verb pinned. Next, we have Hadharonote, which means generally or usually. Then, we have Thuti, which means dhoti. Then, we have Aru, that means and. Next, we have Kurta, which means kurta. In this sentence, Thuti or kurta are compound object connected by the conjunction aro. Finally, we have the verb pinned, which means to wear, with the third personal pronoun suffix a. Because কেতিয়াবা তেওঁলোকে ৰঙা পাৰীৰ বগা গামোচা এখনো কান্ধত লয়. Bikash also replies, sometimes a red bordered white gamusa is also draped over the soldier. Now, let me explain this sentence word by word. First, we have ketiaba, which means sometimes. It refers to an action or event happening on some occasions, if not always. Then, we have teuluke, which means they, referring to third personal plural honorific pronoun with the ergative case marker a. Next, we have ronga, which means red. In this context of Assamese culture, ronga especially describes the traditional item, white gamusa with red border. Then we have parir, which means of border. Pari means border, particularly in case of clothes. Next, we have boga, which means white. Then, we have gamusa, which is a traditional Assamese cloth or towel. Gamusa is a symbol of Assamese culture. Next, we have ekhono, which means also one. Ekhon is the combination of a, which means one, and khon, which classifies the noun gamusa. Then we have kandhot, which means on the shoulder. It is the combination of kand and to, which mean soldier and a locative case respectively. Finally, we have loy, which is again the combination of law, which means take, and ya, which is the simple present tense marker. Let us listen to a conversation on women's traditional attire. Lota, Aita, Sador-Mekhela ki? Lota, grandmother, what is Sador-Mekhela? Aita, Sador-Mekhela অসমীয়া মহিলাৰ এবিধ পৰম্পৰাগত সাজপাৰ. Grandmother, Sador-Mekhela is a traditional Assamese dress. Lota, এবিধ কাপোৰ কেনেকৈ পিন্ধে? Lota, how is this kind of cloth worn? Aita, মেখেলা চাদৰৰ দুটা অংশ থাকে. কঁকালৰ তলৰ অংশটোত মেখেলা পিন্ধে. Grandmother, there are two parts. The mekhela is worn in the bottom part from the waist to feet. Lota, আৰু ওপৰৰ অংশটো? Lota, and the upper part? Aita, ওপৰৰ অংশটো চাদৰ বুলি কয়. এই অংশটো ব্লাউজৰ সৈতে পিন্ধে. Grandmother, the top part is called sador, which is draped around the blouse. Lota, এই কাপোৰবোৰ কোনে তৈয়াৰ কৰে? Lota, who makes these clothes? Aita, গাঁৱৰ শিপিনীয়ে নিজ হাতেৰে বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ চাদৰ মেখেলা তৈয়াৰ কৰে. Grandmother, the village weaver makes various kinds of Sador-Mekhela by her or his own hands. Lota, এয়া কিহেৰে তৈয়াৰ কৰে? Lota, how is this prepared? Aita, মেখেলা চাদৰ সাধাৰণতে কপাহী সূতা, এৰী সূতা, পাট আৰু মুগা সূতাৰে সাজি উলিওৱা হয়. Grandmother, মেখেলা চাদৰ is usually made of cotton thread, castor silk, পাট silk, and মুগা silk. Lota, মেখেলা চাদৰৰ বিশেষত্ব কি? Lota, why is it special? Aita, মেখেলা চাদৰে আমাৰ সংস্কৃতি আৰু আমাৰ পৰিচয় বহন কৰে. Grandmother, মেখেলা চাদৰ carries our culture and identity. Now, let us listen to a conversation on men's traditional attire. Anil, নমস্কাৰ বিকাশ. অসমীয়া পুৰুষৰ পৰম্পৰাগত সাজপাৰ সম্পৰ্কে মোক জনাবানে? Anil, hello Vikas. Can you tell me about Assamese men's traditional attire? Vikas, নিশ্চয় Anil. Vikas replies, of course Anil. Vikas, অসমীয়া পুৰুষে সাধাৰণতে ধুতি আৰু কুৰ্তা পিন্ধে. Vikas replies, Assamese people generally wear dhoti and kurta. Vikas, কেতিয়াবা তেওঁলোকে ৰঙা পাৰীৰ বগা গামোচা এখনো কান্ধত লয়. Vikas also replies, sometimes a red bordered white gamusa is also draped over the shoulder. Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you in the next class.